Donald Trump takes on the corporate media and is winning. So the latest and the biggest is 60 Minutes. Tremendous broadcast for many years. Mike Wallace was a mentor of mine. I knew the whole crew over there, Don Hewitt. Andy Rooney hated me. Very funny. And I know a lot about 60 Minutes. I was on it twice, profiled twice. Once for the rise of the O'Reilly factor and once for the book Killing Jesus. And they treated me fairly. Okay, once it was Mike Wallace that interviewed me, and the second time was Norah O'Donnell. And I have no beef. They did a nice job. It wasn't a puff piece, but it wasn't a hatchet job. And for years and years and years, I respected 60 Minutes, but I don't even watch it anymore. And it's not because I think they're crooks. It's just because it's dull. And I know pretty much what they're going to say. And the culture is left. And the whole culture at CBS News is left. And there's no doubt about it. There's no two sides to that story. It is. And we backed that up in the past. I'm not going to be redundant. So the Kamala Harris interview with 60 Minutes took place on October 7th. It was 21 minutes long. And it's right in the middle of a campaign. Trump turned down 60 Minutes, as you may remember, because when he did it the first time around, Leslie Stahl was mean to him. He didn't like how Leslie conducted herself. Okay. Trump had a chance to go on 60 Minutes, but he didn't trust him, so he didn't go. Harris went. So 21-minute interview, and they edited the interview. The whole thing was 54 minutes, I understand. They didn't have to cut anything. In fact, I wouldn't have had I been running 60 Minutes. I would have run the whole thing. Why cut it? Middle of a campaign, got the Democratic nominee. Let's go. All right? Got something better? I don't think so. So anyway, they cut it. That's where the controversy comes in. The correspondent is Bill Whitaker. I don't know him. And he asked Kamala Harris about Israel Netanyahu and whether they have a decent relationship with the Biden administration. And here's what Kamala Harris said in the unedited part of the interview. Go.
The work that we have done has resulted in a number of movements in that region by Israel that were very much prompted by or a result of many things, including our advocacy for what needs to happen in the region. And we're not going to stop doing that. We're not going to stop pursuing what is necessary for the United States to be clear about where we stand on the need for this war to end.
Now, remember, the question was, does the Biden administration have an important relationship with Israel and Netanyahu? She didn't answer the question. She didn't come close to answering the question. In fact, I don't know what she was talking about. And that was her problem. She's all over the place. She doesn't answer the questions. So when you watch the program, you didn't see that answer. Nobody saw that. Here's what you saw. Go.
The work that we do diplomatically with the leadership of Israel is an ongoing pursuit around making clear our principles.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
We're not going to stop pursuing what is necessary for the United States to be clear about where we stand on the need for this war to end.
So they cut out all the gibberish, and she was much more cogent in that part, right? So that part ran 22 seconds. They cut 11 seconds of gibberish out of it. Now, that's not illegal to do. Donald Trump's not going to win his lawsuit. It's $20 million, as I mentioned. He's not going to win. You can edit any way you want to edit, and CBS is saying, oh, we edited because we didn't have the time, we didn't think it was important, we wanted to cut it down, and all that. Am I buying that? No, I'm not. And I've been in this business 50 years. I know how to edit a piece. I'm not. The powers that be at 60 Minutes wanted Kamala Harris to look better. And I think that is beyond any reasonable doubt. But it's not illegal. Okay? All right. So what happens then is that CBS would not put out the transcript until the federal government, until Trump won the election, and the chairman of the SEC says, you got to put it out. Okay? And so they were ordered to put it out, and they finally did, and now we know what they did. Okay, enter 60, enter the Wall Street Journal. I like the Wall Street Journal. I get it delivered to my home every morning. Wall Street Journal editorial page is factual, and it features a lot of very smart people, and I learned something. It's the best editorial page in the country. But today's editorial I disagree with, and I want to let you know why. Okay, so they say that 60 Minutes is fine, what they did is okay, and Trump's foolish for suing them. Quote, what raises eyebrows is that Mr. Trump is also suing the network, demanding damages of, Mike Myers, Dr. Evil Voice here, $20 billion. I'm sorry, I think I said million, it's billion. CBS edited the interview to make Kamala seem more concise and intelligent, which she is not, the Trump lawsuit said. It approvingly cites the FCC complaint. News reports say the CBS parent company, Paramount, is in talks to settle the lawsuit as a way to heal a Trump grievance while it seeks to merge with Skydance Media. Mr. Trump clearly wants to intimidate the press, and it's no credit to the FCC to see it reinforcing that with an inquiry, unquote. Now, I disagree with that. And it's really simple why I disagree with it. Because we need the American people to know if during a presidential election, a major television news operation is slanting its coverage toward one or the other candidate. And clearly, CBS slanted toward Kamala Harris. That information is vital to our democracy. It's vital to you, to your vote. There's a lot of people that don't know what the deuce is going on in this country. So, does Trump want to intimidate the media? I think he wants to destroy the media as it is now. He believes it's fake news across the board, except for a few outlets. And he wants to batter them and bludgeon them, and he is. But is that wrong? No. I've been treated so unfairly by the corporate media throughout my career, 50 years, it's staggering. I know how crooked they are. And I fought back. But Trump got a lot more power than I do. And he is exposing this. Now, the final word on it is that CBS News is not going to recover ever from this. Ever. They're done. As a news organization that is trusted as a Walter Cronkite-driven organization. It started to go downhill under Dan Rather. But now it's done, as is NBC News because of MSNBC, as is CNN. They can't recover. And ABC News, it's a left-wing culture over there, but I don't know if they're as damaged as NBC and CBS. But still, the numbers, the viewers are just declining all across the board. And that's a memo. Now, over in Disney, a very, very powerful company, Disney, because it's not just media, but they control ABC News, as you know. Okay, so I've been telling you that I think there's going to be changes at The View because it's so hateful. And again, Disney can do what it wants because it isn't taking our money. They can do whatever it wants to do. But when you're hateful on that program, it goes over into all your other enterprises. All of the other Disney properties are influenced negatively by the hate. I mean, another example, this Ana Navarro, absolutely the worst. How she ever got there she's never done anything I can see in her whole entire life, but she's there. This is what she says after the Super Bowl. Go.
I think today Donald Trump is going to sign an executive order banning black people from halftime. Because You remember last week we were talking about whether the NFL was capitulating to Trump by removing the term "end racism" from the end zone.
Yeah.
Boy, did they not capitulate to Trump.
Okay, they had a halftime show that was incomprehensible. With all due respect to Kendrick Lamar, I mean, maybe he's the most talented guy in the world, but couldn't understand a word he said. And I don't believe that rap music is embraced by any more than 15% of the American population. And I don't care that he was there. That didn't offend me. But then she takes it over into Trump is going to ban black people from half. You know, she tried to make a joke. I understand it. And interestingly enough, when that was first reported, the conservative news that reported it said that she said it seriously. She didn't. So this cuts both ways. But the point is, on The View, they hate the President of the United States. It's not that they disagree with him. They hate him. And Disney all Disney executives had to do, Iger has to do, is come to New York, because he's in Burbank, California, and say, look, we want to keep the show on the air. This is Iger now, but you're going to have to knock off the hate. And if you can't, then I want you to resign. That's all. That's all you got to do.